If you need to speak up and you don't speak up, as Tsem Rinpoche said in his book, then you're a part of it. If you keep quiet and you let it happen, or you expect other people to show you the way, or you expect other people to guide you or give you the direction, and you don't want to be the leading light, you don't want to be the direction, you don't want to make an effort toward it, you expect others to, and then if they don't, then you say, I didn't get the direction. And that's incorrect. Why is that incorrect? To a certain level, you're correct. If you're a child, but if you're an adult, no. You must make the effort to know. You must make an effort. Buddha went to the forest and meditated on his own. He didn't blame other people when he didn't get enlightened. He did not. So therefore, what's important is not to think that our enlightenment is dependent on how other people act towards me, or my spiritual development is how important that people act towards me and how they act towards me. That's not the attitude to have. Why? Then it's letting laziness take over again. Then if laziness takes over, we become disillusioned. We give up, we don't want to do, or we just become like Sunday practitioners. We just recite empty, but we don't actually apply it. That's very dangerous to become a Sunday practitioner. It's why every other day you're just yourself, you don't care, but on Sunday you're all holy smoly. So what's important is we need to check our mind. We need to check our mind. Clearly, the direction it's going to. And we need to ask ourselves one question. And I use this one because it's fundamental for all of us. Do we love the people we say we love? And even if they don't know what we're doing, we know. Especially after we listen to the Dharma. We know. Do we love the people we love? If we love the people we love, we will stop making excuses for our lack of transformation, Dharma practice, and inabilities. We will stop. If we don't stop, it's very clear we don't love anyone but ourselves. But the ultimate joke is we actually don't love ourselves because in the end we're alone and we suffer even more. Even eating requires effort. You have to chew and swallow and digest. What in this world doesn't have effort? So if we love others, if we love people we love, and we want to, never mind we pay their kindness, but even not burden them, we have to transform ourselves. We have to. So if we have a Lama who's kind enough to guide us and show us the way, with no agenda, we should grab that opportunity. We should grab it. If we have met a Lama, if we have met an organization, we have met a place that we feel love on the ultimate sense of caring for our future and our rebirth, we should grab the chance. We should promote it. We should sponsor it. We should help it. We should do all the work we can. Instead of being afraid of commitment, we should commit. Why? It's the only shred of hope we have for ourselves and others. And not make excuses. Not let time pass by. We lose more hair. We lose more of our energy and our health. How much time do we actually have left? Even the high lamas have to pass away. I went to my guru's funeral recently. They opened a funeral pyre, and I saw his body burning in front of me. It woke me up. What did it wake me up? I'm going to tell you the truth. I pray, may I never have relationships in this life with others. Never. That distract me away. May I never have children. Never. I prayed in front of his body. May I never be engaged in work that just focused on making money for the sake of things. And I prayed, if I'm going to be born in a rich country and rich family, or poor country, poor family, may I use the circumstances to turn it around to bring Dharma to others. That's why I prayed in front of his burning body. You know why? Because I was scared. I visualized myself inside there and my legs and my body burning away and melting. I was scared. Even when Rinpoche passed away and he was burning, I received the Dharma teaching. Even when I saw his body burning, I received the Holy Dharma teaching. I was scared. He's so incredibly advanced in his practice. I know it for a fact. I'm not the only one. I'm not some fanatical follower. It's recognized by thousands. And his body was inside the fire burning, and they were throwing wood on it. You know, I mean, the funeral people, and making it burn more. It smelled very nice. They put camphor and saffron and flowers there when I saw it. And I saw his legs distinctly. The top part I can see well, the bottom part I saw distinctly burning. And it created fear in me. I thought even in the end, my lamas are gone. The only thing that's left is the teachings he's given me. If I don't practice it, that's my destiny. I was so scared. I stayed up there by myself. I waited for the crowd to disappear. I waited for the crowd to go do their pujas. I'm not really interested in pujas because I know, I'm sorry to say, he doesn't need the pujas to help him. That they need the pujas to help themselves for his reincarnation. But I stood by his funeral pyre because I selfishly wanted a last teaching. I want to see a body burning. And it was very dramatic to see my lama's body burning. The one I received so much initiations and teachings from. And I said to myself, I'm going to push myself even more towards no agenda life. No agenda. No accumulation of wealth for myself in itself. No accumulation of reputation for myself in itself. I don't want any relationships. I don't want any in this life and future lives because it ends up nowhere. I'm sorry, no offense to anyone. I pray for that very hard. And to be happy, to benefit others, to use my life for others. I pray for that very hard. I didn't pray for very high things, but I pray for things that are better. Why? One day, my students will put me in the fire. One day, my body will be burning, and I visualized it. One day, all of you will push me in, and I will be burning. One day soon, in fact, very soon. Then no matter what pujas you do for me, it's not going to make a difference for me. It's what I've done when I was living. How much I've done, how many centers I have, how many students doesn't matter. How much I have transformed my life. And that's what hit me very strong. I'm not here preaching to you. Really, I'm not. This is what I was thinking about. I'm not preaching to you at all. So I put myself in the funeral fire. So these days when I do my death meditations, I lock myself in my bedroom. I stay there. I do all kinds of things there. People can assume whatever they want I'm doing in my bedroom, but I know what I'm doing in my bedroom. I lock myself in there. I don't leave for hours, 12 hours, 15 hours. When I do my death meditations, when I do my practices, I don't like to let people know. I like to make them think I'm doing something else. It's more exciting that way. Much more exciting. I like to pride myself as a secret Mahasita. I know it's another fantasy trip I'm on, but it's okay. At least I pretend to be a secret Mahasita than a rock star. Can you see me as like Aerosmith screaming on the stage? You're like, well, you already scream off the stage, so why not? Okay, that's fine. Thank you. You win. But when I do my meditations, I've added that to the equation. See myself in the fire. I used to see myself being buried, but now I see myself in the fire because it's much more dramatic. Much, much more. And I had a visual aid. So my point is, why do I talk about that? It helps us to get a grip on reality and what is really important. Because irregardless of religion or race or background, that is going to happen to us. That is going to happen. That is going to happen to us. And if we don't meditate on it, if we avoid it and we don't think about it, we won't change. If we don't meditate and think about it, we won't have our priorities correct. If we don't focus and meditate on it and we're afraid of it, then you know what happens? We don't love the people around us. Don't talk about the whole world, even the people around us. Why? We didn't do anything for them. In fact, we become a burden. And that's the difference. So when people tell me they want to do this and this and this, you know what's the first thing that pops in my mind? I'm so sorry. How much time do you have left? You still want to waste your time on that? That's exactly what I think all the time. Even people who read a lot of Dharma books, I look at them and say, any attainments? Or is it just puffed up knowledge like peacock? Any attainments? So you've read 3,000 Dharma books, you can recite it verbatim, you know it very well. Any attainments? Any transformation? Any? If it's not, they just have more fuel to burn you up with. Your books. Doesn't make a difference. So whether you read a lot and you're very knowledgeable in Dharma or not, or you're not very knowledgeable like me, we're still going to burn. But when we burn, the actions we've done in this life, you know, gross actions are very easy to see. Subtle actions are more dangerous. Subtle laziness, subtle pride, subtle arrogance, subtle feeling of superiority, subtle lack of care, subtle lack of discipline, subtle giving. See, when you don't discipline yourself, you don't inspire people, you're not giving. You're not practicing the 6 paramitas at all. That's subtle. So for an ordinary person, they can't see that. They see, oh, you're doing Dharma, you're teaching, you're meditating, you're practicing, you're chanting, you're pujaing, you have an altar, you're making offerings, you're wearing a pendant, you're doing your mantras, you hold the mala, and you go to the Dharma center, maybe even hold a position. Those are all gross types of manifestations. But actually, more important is the subtle. Why? Because the subtle controls the gross. The subtle is a factor behind growth. So are we subtly selfish? Are we subtly very lazy? Are we subtly unwilling to change or transform or discipline ourselves? If we are, it's very dangerous. Why? Gross can be taken away. You know, if you waste your time in discos, they can take that away, but they can't take your gross attachment to discos away. Very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. So for some people who are overtly attached openly, but if you talk to them, they try to transform, that's good. But if they're not overtly attached and they don't manifest that, but introvertly they are attached, and they're very subtly attached to themselves, therefore they have ego, they're attached to their knowledge, therefore they have pride and arrogance, they're attached to their activities, therefore they don't want bend for others and justify the Dharma. That's very dangerous. Why? Because the subtle mind is what travels with you. And the subtle mind is what karma attaches itself to. So you may be fooling others with gross Dharma actions, or yourself. Fooling doesn't mean a negative way. Some people don't even know. But subtle you cannot. Subtle you cannot. That's why sometimes we can examine our actions by inner. Sometimes. But if we're going to apply that to Chugam Trungpa, impossible. Why is it impossible? Because he's a beyond reproach? No, we're not at that level yet. Yet is the key. Yet.